What's up, guys? It's the old fart nugget back at it again with another DVD video, and as promised, I played as the Judgment. Now, I will just tell you straight up, I only played matches against bots. I don't want to wait 30 billion fucking years to get a match on the PTB. I mean, I have a goddamn life, so I didn't want to do that. Yeah, in my last video, I talked about 110 movement speed killers. I said that this killer looked like an overbloated mess. So I got on the PTB ready to hate it, and something terrible happened. I accidentally liked it. Oh, fuck, guys, I'm a goddamn shill! I sold my soul to Behavior Interactive! They own my ass! So why did I end up liking this killer? Well, I gotta say, presentation-wise, it looks like there's a lot going on, but the killer is actually pretty simple. You shoot a beam of light at people, and that light gives them some kind of, I guess you could call it an infection, and that allows you to send them to the portal to the other world, which is basically like it's like a player versus environment zone. It's kind of weird, but it replaces hooking, and I kind of like that. You don't got to worry about flashlight saves, or getting hit with pallets, or picking up survivors and taking them to the hooks. You don't got to worry about their bullshit decisive strike. I kind of like the concept of the killer, and I don't really know how strong the killer is, but the power definitely feels unique. The beams of light you can damage people with, they're hard as fuck to control. I'm not gonna play with you. If you're watching the footage, you're watching me try it for like my first 2 matches that I recorded, and I probably look like I'm sucking ass at it, but I mean, what do you expect? It's the first time I'm trying it. But I could really imagine some people getting that good with this killer that their chase potential will be crazy. Now, I don't mean to frighten you talking about the skill ceiling, and if you know anything about Dead by Daylight content creators, you know this is an excuse to basically say a killer is hard as fuck to play and the juice is not worth the squeeze, but they got so much potential. But I'm just being real here. I think this killer has a pretty unique power, and for the last killers being like copy-paste bullshit, it's kind of nice to get something new for once, so I can't really complain that much. Wait a minute, no complaints? What kind of fucking video is this? This sucks! We gotta find something negative to talk about. It's all I know how to do. Alright, let's go on Reddit. No, let's not go on Reddit. Let's go on Twitter. No, let's not go on Twitter. Okay, so from what I've read, the community believes this killer is very fucking hard to play and not hard enough to play against. I'm once again gonna push back against the DVD community and say, are you just now fucking catching on, buddy? That's how every killer is nowadays. In fact, that's just how this game is now. Alright, let's pivot off to something else. The Lights Out game mode, the Chaos Shuffle game mode, 2v8, all the game modes are being idiot-proofed and cucked and gay. You see, everything is being catered to the survivors. I mean, this isn't new, this is just repeated talking points, but in the Lights Out mode, when you have a lantern, you literally see all the pallets and windows, like everything on the map. Like, it's ridiculous. Why do you need that? The whole mode is supposed to be about not being able to see anything, not being able to see your resources, not being able to see where you need to run to. It's supposed to be fucking scary, but you know, it doesn't matter. The developers just want to cater to the survivors because they buy the most skins. So it is what it is. Now, why am I talking about Lights Out in a video about the Judgment? Well, to answer that, why do you think they'd ruin an entire game mode to cater to the survivors, but not make a fucking killer very easy to counter? I mean, this is just how the game's been going for years. The point I'm trying to get across is, yeah, everybody in the community might be right. Maybe this killer is way too hard to play and the juice isn't worth the squeeze, but why are you just now complaining about that? This is not the first killer to be like that. It won't be the last, and your complaints will fall on deaf ears. Now, even though that sounds really negative, I got the DBD doomer mentality, I'm actually gonna do something. I'm gonna be positive for a moment. I'm actually a little optimistic about how this game is heading right now. Now, very cautiously optimistic, but let me hope post real quick. Let a brother hope post on his own YouTube channel. Is that okay? Now look, I know all the game modes are being made to cater to the survivors, but let's look at the positive side. We're getting a killer that can ignore decisive strike and all kinds of second chance perks. If you don't hook anybody, you'll never have to worry about dead hard or reassurance or like half of the fucking perks I put on my top 10 most bullshit perks list. So I'm pretty happy with this killer, honestly. The other thing is, on the Reddit Ask Me Anything event, the developers at least acknowledged the pallet density problem. Yeah, you know how every map has 72 fucking billion pallets on it? They at least admitted that it's controversial. Yeah, I'm hoping for too much here. Maybe they'll do something and make the game fucking playable for low-tier killers again. Maybe I'm just crossing my fingers for nothing, but the fact that they at least acknowledge it gives me some hope, because the Dead by Daylight developers, they don't fucking listen usually. Look at this fat guy, he doesn't fucking listen. Maybe if you waved a sandwich in front of him, he'd listen a little bit. Now I'm gonna get back to talking about the Judgment, the actual topic of this video. I gotta say one thing, I don't like this killer's name. The nicknames in Dead by Daylight, you know, the naming scheme where every killer is called the something, I always thought that was supposed to be what the survivors call them in the lore, like the Trapper, the Hillbilly. Now some of them are stupid, like the Skull Merchant or the Death Slinger. Like no one looked at this cowboy and calls him the Death Slinger, right? He gave that nickname to himself. He's one of those guys. And I feel exactly that way with this killer. I really think if I saw this big angelic spider looking thing, I probably wouldn't refer to it as the Judgment. That's fucking retarded sounding. So now that I got that out of the way, I'm gonna refer to this killer as the Angel for the rest of this video. It's not much more of a creative name than the Judgment, but I think it's less stupid sounding. Now let's finally complete what I was talking about in the last video. Yet another 110% movement speed killer comes in the game, a slow-ass, turtle-esque killer, and I have to pose the question, does this killer need to be slower because their power is too strong? Once again, kind of like the Stranger Things Vecna, I honestly don't know. As you can see in this clip that's playing right now, this power is fucking dog shit at a close distance. It's very hard to aim, you gotta like put it far away and then turn your camera towards the survivor. You gotta sling it like it's a bow or some shit, it's weird. So from that aspect, I kind of feel like this killer is gonna get dog walked and a lot of survivors are just gonna get you to miss your shot and then run away from the loop and then it'll take like 10 minutes for you to catch up. But on the other hand, I could see some people being so good with this killer that they just obliterate your shit and it doesn't matter that they're slow. But yeah, I don't really have an answer if they should be 110 or not. The killer main in me says that no killer should be 110 because the nurse is in the game and she's disgustingly overpowered, so treating any weaker killer than the nurse like they're a problem that needs to be mitigated I think is just kind of ass backwards, but hey, it's the game's philosophy has been this way for years, so I don't expect it to change anytime soon. To me, the important part is there's a killer with a new power that hasn't really just been taken from another killer and copy and pasted, so I'm grateful just for that. From what I understand, this doesn't really accurately represent what everyone voted for, and this was the democracy-type killer. This was the killer that the whole community voted on aspects for. We were given a bunch of choices, and we voted on them. And I don't mean me, alright? When I say we, I mean the community. I didn't participate. I didn't give a single shit about this. So I understand why some people are disappointed they didn't do things right. Yeah, they definitely fucking shorted us on the Mori. The storyboard of it shows that the survivor gets split in half, but for the final version you see in-game, the survivor just gets burned. It reuses the model from Jason's Mori animation. So yeah, of course they had to recycle something somewhere, but at least it's not the gameplay that's recycled. Oh, and yeah, what about the new survivor? It's an old lady. Her name is Aurora Stardaughter. Man, fuck the survivors. I don't care about that shit. The point is, they made another killer that I actually have some temptation to play. Now, just think about it. They put my boy Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's in this game, and he sucked, and I didn't like him. Then they put in Jason, who is mine and everybody else's most requested character, and he sucked, and I don't like him. So now that we got a killer that's actually kind of creative, I really don't have that much negative things to say. Now, obviously, I was joking about being a paid shill. I don't like the direction this game is going in or the people behind it, but if they keep putting out killers like this, maybe that might change. Oh god. Oh god. Oh shit. Oh fuck. What the fuck? Oh, what's going on? What's happening to me? Somebody make it stop! Hey guys, Scott here, and I gotta tell you, the new killer is too hard, and the Dead by Daylight community is fucking retarded, so they won't be able to play as her. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.